And for the record, the judge has abandoned court. This case is dismissed. I order this case be dismissed. Case number 25-1756-SM.
And just for the record, the defendant tries to declare that the judge has abandoned the courtroom, claiming on his own authority that the case is dismissed. He even attempts to issue an order himself, stating, "I dismiss case number 251756-SM." But of course, that's not how any of this works. Only the court hand, specifically, the judge, has the authority to make such a ruling.
Okay, now we're on Eric Martin. This is 251756, the People versus Eric Martin.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Gazicki on behalf of Mr. Martin. Your Honor, he's waiving his right to a trial by jury, requesting trial by this court. And also, can I address bond, Your Honor?
Yeah, I signed the order granting discovery. Mr. Martin, you understand that you have a constitutional right to a trial by jury?
I comprehend that.
Do you understand that, sir?
I comprehend it. I just want to add, as I told him, I really don't consent to no jurisdiction of this court, but since I'm being forced to make the choice, I'm saying an Article 3 judge is going to be the choice, the forced choice. Article 3 judge.
Okay.
Even though the case shouldn't go, let me mention this too now. The case shouldn't even go that far. We shouldn't even be wasting taxpayers' money, nor my time in here. First of all, I proved my sister lying before on me with the same type of charge, Nessick, okay? I don't know the case number right now. I asked Jasinski to find out what it is. But in the same court, 23rd District Court, the judge is seeing she lied when I questioned her, "Did you swing at me before I kicked you?" She answered no to that, and it was seen on the camera she lied. This is especially why I should not be made to wait on this.
Mr. Martin, you have a constitutional right to a trial by jury. Are you voluntarily waiving the right to a trial by jury?
Since I'm being forced to make
well, you're not being forced to make any choices.
Well,
you can have a trial by
so I am being forced.
Mr. Martin, listen, we can get through this, or we can go back and forth, and then I end up muting you, and then that's how we go forward. So let's see if we can do this without that, okay? You have a constitutional right to a trial by jury on this case. Are you waiving your right to a jury trial?
Yes.
Then up next is the case of the People versus Eric Martin. Case number 25-1756-SM. Attorney James Gazicki steps forward and addresses the court. Good morning, Your Honor. James Gazicki on behalf of Mr. Martin. At this time, he's waiving his right to a jury trial and is requesting that the case be heard as a bench trial. Also, Your Honor, may I address the issue of bond? The judge responds, "Yes, I've signed the order granting discovery." Mr. Martin, do you understand that you have a constitutional right to a trial by jury? Eric Martin replies, "I comprehend that." The judge follows up, "Do you understand that, sir?" Martin reiterates, "Yeah, I comprehend it. But I'd like to add, like I already told my attorney, don't consent to this court's jurisdiction. However, since I'm being forced to make a choice, I'll go with an Article 3 judge. It's a forced choice, but that's the option. I'm selecting," the judge calmly acknowledges. "Okay, an Article 3 judge." Martin continues, "Even though this case shouldn't be going forward at all. And I'd like to mention this is a waste of taxpayer money and my time. I already proved that my sister lied about a similar charge in another case before Omni. I don't have the case number on hand, but I asked Mr. Gazecki to find it. It was heard in this same 23rd District Court. The judge saw her lie on camera. She denied swinging at me before I acted in self-defense, but the footage proved otherwise. That's exactly why I shouldn't be forced to wait around on this case." The judge brings the focus back. "Mr. Martin, You have a constitutional right to a trial by jury. Are you voluntarily waiving that right? Martin responds, since I'm being forced to make, the judge interjects, firm but composed. You're not being forced to make any choice. Martin begins to interrupt again. Mr. Martin, listen. We can get through this, or we can go back and forth, and I'll have to mute you so we can proceed in order. Let's see if we can avoid that, okay? Now again, you have a constitutional right to a jury trial. Are you waiving that right? Martin answers firmly, no.
And you understand that I'm the judge of the court, that I will be the trier of fact on your case?
Well, I want a motion for the judge trial, but I'm going to object to you being the judge based on past constitutional violations.
Okay, well, your motion for recusal is denied. So now, Mr. Martin, are you electing for me to try the case, yes or no?
In that forced the sense, yes.
Well, you have two choices, a jury trial or me. Out of those two choices, which one do you like?
Are you an Article 3 judge?
Mr. Martin, I'm not going to entertain jurisdictional arguments. I'm asking you, do you want a trial by a judge or a jury? And I'm being very patient.
By a judge, I already said Article 3 judge. Article 3 judge.
Okay, well, I will be your judge. I've made that clear. This is a case I have jurisdiction over. It's a misdemeanor that's alleged to have occurred in the city of Taylor. So you're indicating to me that you're relinquishing your rights to a trial by a jury, and you'll be tried by me. And you understand, you've had a chance to talk to your lawyer about this, Mr. Martin?
Yep.
Okay.
I also want to make it clear, I have some other things to say. I enforce my right to a Republican form of government under Article 4, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution, which is why the court don't have jurisdiction over me. And I am the third party beneficiary here. I am not the defendant.
Can you find
despite the fraudulent presumption otherwise.
Possible.
The hearing continued. Judge Simpson attempted to clarify the path forward, giving the defendant Tarek Martina clear and lawful choice. Judge, Mr. Martin, do you understand that I am the presiding judge in this courtroom, and that I will be the trier of fact in your case? Martin responded with hesitation and resistance. Martin, well, I'm filing a motion to have a bench trial with a judge, but I object to you being the judge due to what I believe are past constitutional violations. Judge, your motion for my recusal is denied. Okay, so again, Mr. Martin, are you electing for me to try the case, yes or no? Martin replied, somewhat reluctantly. Martin, well, in that forced sense. Yes. The judge pressed for clarity. Judge, you have two options, jury trial or a trial before me. Which of those two do you choose? Martin attempted to shift the focus. Martin, are you an Article 3 judge? Judge, Mr. Martin, I'm not going to entertain jurisdictional arguments right now. I'm asking you directly. Do you want a judge trial or a jury trial? I've been extremely patient. Martin, by a judge. I already said an Article 3 judge. Judge, I will be your judge. I've made that clear. This court has jurisdiction over this matter. The charge is a misdemeanor alleged to have occurred in the city of Taylor. Now, to confirm, you are waiving your right to a jury trial and electing to have your case tried by me. Have you discussed this decision with your attorney? Martin, yes. At this point, Martin continued with additional, unrelated assertions. Martin, I also want to make it clear that I'm enforcing my right to a Republican form of government. Under Article 4, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution. That's why this court doesn't have jurisdiction over me. I'm not the defendant, I'm the third-party beneficiary in this matter. despite any false presumptions suggesting otherwise.
All right, give us a second, Mr. Martin. I'm trying to get your jury trial date.
We can even do on a state day.
I want to make clear, I'll point out, it's supposed to be 28 days and Saturdays and Sundays are not supposed to be excluded because the 28 days is specific for speedy trials and misdemeanors. And since that's specific under the court rules, it should be 28 days without excluding Saturdays and Sundays or legal holidays. That's made clear, I want to say, under the rule that dictates speedy trial, MCR 6.004C, and also MCR 1.103, the applicability rules that clearly says, where a rule is specific, it applies to that. So that the specific rules control over general rules.
Okay, Madam Prosecutor, how many witnesses?
I would say maximum 3.
Okay, Mr. Gazicki, how many witnesses?
Your Honor, first of all, I just want to put on the record that Mr. Martin in the past has not wanted my representation of him. Today, he says it's okay for me to represent him. I just wanted that on the record. I also advise Mr. Martin that his arguments that he makes about sovereign citizens and that is something that I can't follow, nor can I ask the court to follow it. Just so that's on the record. As far as witnesses goes right now, Your Honor, would we say 1?
Okay.
Can we approach?
I mean, Mr. Gazicki's in the other room. Mr. Gazicki, can you come on in? We'll meet you in the back hallway. All right, Mr. Martin, 1 second.
Yeah, and I got something to say too, we get time in response to what he said.
NAS proceedings continued. Judge Simpson prepared to set a date for Eric Martin's jury trial. All right, Mr. Martin, give us a moment. We're working on scheduling your jury trial. We may even have availability on a state-observed date. At this point, Mr. Martin interjected with his interpretation of court rules. Martin, I'd like to clarify something about the 28-day time frame for speedy trials. Saturdays and Sundays shouldn't be excluded. The rule clearly states that the 28 days apply to misdemeanors, and since that's a specific provision under the court rules, those days should count. I'm referring to MCR 6.004C and MCR 1.103, which explain that specific rules take precedence over general ones. The court acknowledged the comment and moved on to practical matters. Judge, Madam Prosecutor, how many witnesses are you anticipating? Prosecutor, maximum of 2, Your Honor. Judge and Mr. Gazicki, how many for the defense? Attorney James Gazicki, Mr. Martin's court-appointed attorney, made a record for clarity. Gazicki, first, Your Honor, I'd like to state for the record that Mr. Martin has previously declined my representation. Today, he has agreed to let me represent him. I also want to clarify that I cannot pursue the sovereign citizen arguments Mr. Martin raises, nor can I ask the court to adopt them. That's important to have on record. As for witnesses, at this time, I'd say we're looking at 1. The judge asked Gazicki to step into the hallway briefly. Judge, Mr. Gazicki's in the other room. Mr. Gazicki, please join us in the back hallway for a moment. Judge to Martin, hold tight, Mr. Martin. But Martin wasn't done speaking. Martin Yan, I have something to say too. In response to what Mr. Gazicki just said, since we've got a moment.